right, you want to listen to this one here. Ending a marriage or relationship can be challenging enough indeed. Unfortunately for many separating couples, further complications often arise around child support payments. We've seen that, especially in the papers. But guess what? There's an app for that. It's called Support Pay, an app that expedites automatic child care expenses. In today's Quarter Office, we are joined by Sheri Atwood, founder and CEO of Support Pay, who will explain how it works. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I think this is probably one app that a lot of folks are not going to hack, I would assume here. I mean, an app for child support payments. I think actually this might be a pretty good thing. Tell us how it works.
Yeah, so what people don't realize is in the U.S. alone, there's 55 million parents that live apart. 16 million of them use some sort of government service, but there's this other 39 million that are exchanging child support every year, and there's no way for them to actually exchange those payments back and forth.
Well, here's a question, though. Will this take any kind of question out of support payments for fathers who may be called deadbeat dads and their wives are accusing them? I guess with this app, there's perhaps no debate in all of this.
Correct. And the biggest feedback we get from usually the paying parent, which is the father, is says, I have no problem paying child support. I just want to know the money's going to my kid. And the mom is saying he doesn't understand how expensive it is. So with our app, you enter a transaction and you attach a receipt. Then the father sees, or the parent sees that the item is for their child and they make a payment.
Okay, well, that sounds pretty good here. I want to talk about some numbers here. 1.3 million in new child support cases in the U.S. each year. That's a lot. And I would expect the way things are going in this country, that's probably going to increase.
Yep.
But we're also talking about 5.8 billion taxpayer dollars spent on enforcement. That's a lot of money, and that's an eye-opener for me.
Yes, and every state has their own system, and they're on average 10 years or older. So there really hasn't been any innovation in this space until Support Pay.
What kind of challenges, and I've got to think that with this particular app here, you've had some challenges getting this thing off the ground.
From a fundraising perspective, yes.
Okay.
From a customer perspective, no. We just hit 15,000 parents on the platform. It's not something that it's a 21-year-old problem. So I'm from Silicon Valley. So in Silicon Valley, it's not something they can relate to. But everybody else is like, wow, I can't believe there hasn't been something out there.
In terms of the usage of something like this,
yes.
Are you finding it across the board that perhaps men and women are running for this equally, or do you find more women wives as opposed to husbands or ex-wives and ex-husbands using? Who benefits from this most, or who's using it most?
Well, the benefit is different depending, but it's equal right now between moms and dads. And again, it's the dads get to see where the money's going, and the mom doesn't have to nag, beg, or ask for the money. The system does all the notifications, and they both get one or the same view of where the finances are for their children.
Is this app free?
Yes.
It is?
Yes. Any parent can use a free version at any point, and then there's premium features that we'll be charging for. But if anybody signs up before June 30th, they'll get it free for life.
Okay, but you're an entrepreneur, of course.
Yes.
I mean, you're in this to make money. You get 2.6 million in funding. What do you plan to do with all that money?
Well, there will be premium version where parents will be able to have court certified records that they can present in court or tax purposes, have access to the additional or history, also being able to manage all their visitation or where the kid is at what point in time. But the free version, anybody will be able to enter a transaction or make a payment for free.
All right, lastly, 2.6 million in raising for investors here. What has been the reception by the consumer?
The reception's been fantastic. From a fundraising perspective, the feedback has been it's actually something or an app that's not a trend. It's something that people can actually use in their day-to-day lives.
I got some friends that might be interested in something like this.
Tell them about it.
Another app. Sheri Atwood, of course. Thank you for joining us here.
Thank you.
Okay. Tomorrow on Arise Xchange, billions of dollars in artwork sold at auctions this week. Some sales smashing records. We'll explore whether art is a good investment. Now for another look at the markets. All green again, with the S&P 500 closing at another all-time high. I'm Julian Phillips. Thanks for watching Arise Xchange. Andrew Schmertz will be back tomorrow.